The Tipping Point with Mike Tipton is brought to you by Dubby. What is Dubby? Dubby is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like those other energy drinks have. They also have no maltodextrin fillers and don't use artificial dyes. Dubby contains vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. W's products are made in the USA in an FDA inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP manufacturing guidelines. All of the flavors are unique and custom made by W, and you'll never taste our taste anywhere else. The best part about it is they're affordable. W's drinks come out to about $1 per drink, much cheaper than Starbucks or any of those canned energy drinks. To learn more, visit w.gg.com/MRTipton33 and place your order today. Use promo code MrTipton33 and save today. W Energy, be better. What's going on, everybody? I want to tell you about my new friends over at Cleverman. Visit them online at becleverman.com. What they gave me was the energizing face and beard scrub along with the Cleverman face scrubber. And trust me when I say this, the energizing face and beard scrub smells amazing. Combining it with the face scrubber, making sure that your boy was looking as good and sexy as possible, opened up a whole different sensation in my face that I haven't ever felt before. I felt so clean, so fresh, and so clean, like Outcast said, and it helped me feel like I was ready for my day. Make sure you visit them online at becleverman.com and follow them on Instagram at clevermannyc. The link is up in my bio if you want to check out all the amazing products they have. Visit them online, becleverman.com. It is the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton coming at you live this Monday morning. We are live on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, and of course on Roku via National Streaming Sports. Shout out to the Instagram audience. Why Not Flow tuned in right now as well. A lot of things happening in the world of sports. The NBA dominating the news outlets and news headlines right now. And that's exactly where we are going to get started off today is with the NBA. Yesterday, we had a Game 7 between the Houston Rockets and the Golden State Warriors. You all heard me at the beginning of the playoffs say that experience is always going to be the X factor. It's going to be one of those things that gets you above above expectations, right? The Golden State Warriors had that experience in order to get them where they needed to be, beating the Houston Rockets, a young, exciting team. Over on Instagram, Woodcraft for El Paso joined. Congratulations to my guy Ryan Woodcraft getting himself a big win with the SISD school board. Congrats for you, my friend, or congrats to you, my friend. He's saying good morning, Tip. Good morning to y'all. As well as we're getting started here on the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton talking about the NBA playoffs and everything that just happened over the weekend. Y'all got questions. I got some answers. Let's see how it goes. Getting back to the Houston Rockets and the Golden State Warriors. I like Houston. I think Houston's going to be a fun team to watch in the future. However, there's your caveat. The windows to win now in the NBA are so much smaller than what they used to be back in the day that if Houston doesn't capitalize within the next 2 or 3 years to even make a championship, the team is going to be dismantled and dissolved the way that we've seen it happen with a bunch of teams, right? The Golden State Warriors, in my opinion, are the last team that was able to have a core and build a quote-unquote dynasty, right? Where you can have a core of guys go over the luxury tax, spend a little bit extra to be able to keep those guys together, and maybe, just maybe, you have a shot. Because what we're looking at right now in the Eastern Conference, as we're being asked right now, are the Pistons a contender to win the East next year? I believe they are. I think they need a little more help and a little more consistency, right? Cade Cunningham, I think we all watched it in real time, taking that next step to be the guy, to be the man when it came to the Detroit Pistons. Cade Cunningham's there. You got to keep Malik Beasley. You got to keep that core. You have to find a way to keep that core. I would keep Dennis Schroeder. Maybe whenever there's free agents out there, do you look at Julius Randle? Like what I think Detroit needs is a 4 or a 5 who can get a bucket whenever they need it. I like what they have right now, but I feel like just one more guy. You don't need another point guard. You don't need another wing. I think what you need is an interior presence who can help you get a bucket whenever you need that bucket. And that to me is what Detroit is lacking. But again, even if they just run it back with what they have right now, as our guy Tommy Canazza says, what's good, Tip? What's good with you, Tommy? Hope that you are having yourself a fantastic day, my friend. Even if the Detroit Pistons were to run it back with what they have now, I think that they would make it out of the first round, out of the second round, right? That's the thing that Houston had to go through. That's the thing that Detroit has to go through, is you have these learning curves, these periods of time where you have to take these steps. It's again, I said it a million times. I'll say it a million more times. That's what basketball is. The Detroit Pistons had it back in the 80s. The Bulls had it in the late 80s into the early 90s. You have to go through those growing pains. That's what Houston is going through right now. That's what Detroit is going through right now. If you chose my picks in the NBA playoffs, we got 5 out of 3. 5 out of 3. It's not great, but it's also not terrible. I'll take 5 out of 8 all the time. Tommy Canazza saying he is off today. It's already fantastic. There we go. Augustine saying Cinco de Mayo happening today. Ryan Woodcraft saying grit. The Detroit Pistons have grit. They do. That is a gritty team. That's why, like, if Detroit were to get someone like a Julius Randle, I think that would put them over the top. I like his game meshing in Detroit. Julius Randle going to be a free agent this upcoming season. I would like to see Julius Randle in Detroit. Because to me, like Augustine's saying that's awful. What's awful? 5 of 8? I'll see how that's awful. One of them went to a game, or two of them went to a game 7. The Nuggets, whoa. Man, the way the Nuggets beat the hell out of the Clippers. James Harden just did not show up. Took 8 shots, went 2 of 8 in a game 7. It's just like whenever you think that James Harden is going to take that next step, he just doesn't. And it's crazy to say that about a guy that's won an MVP, about a guy that's won a scoring championship. He just doesn't show up in the playoffs. When you can rely on Kawhi Leonard and his bionic body held together with duct tape, silly string, and glue sticks. When you can rely on Kawhi Leonard more than you can rely on James Harden, you've got yourself a problem. And he just didn't show up in those last couple of games for the LA Clippers. Sad. And the Pacers, the way that they beat down the the Bucks, I didn't see that one coming. The Cavaliers are going to have themselves their hands full. They had game one yesterday. The Pacers already won game one, so they took home court advantage from the Cleveland Cavaliers. Maybe it was rust. Maybe we could say that, right? It was rust for the Cleveland Cavaliers. But the Indiana Pacers went in there and just slapped them around. You thought that maybe, just maybe, if the Cavs could maybe break the lead a little bit late in the fourth, that there'd be a shot. They got the lead in the third quarter. They went back and forth with the lead early on in the fourth quarter and just didn't have enough. A lot of that could be you're missing Darius Garland. I don't know if it's quite that simple. I like what the Pacers are doing here. We'll talk about that coming up in a little bit. The Knicks and the Celtics. I had the Pistons beating the Knicks. That was a fun series to watch. So it's not like we were bad. It's not like it was awful, Augustine, as you said. Got the Thunder, the Timberwolves, the Warriors, the Cavs, and the Celtics. Chose all 5 of those teams right. Only got 3 teams wrong. 5-3. I'll take it. That's more than Hall of Fame status. We were talking about the Eastern Conference. Ryan Woodcraft had asked about the Detroit Pistons. Are they going to be for real in the Eastern Conference next year? And I think they are. And the reason why is you look at Cleveland. Cleveland's still a youngish team. I know you have Jared Allen. I know you have Evan Mobley. I know you have Donovan Mitchell. You have Darius Garland. So you have a team that has some veterans on them, but they haven't had long-term sustained success in the NBA's Eastern Conference. And then you say, well, Tip, you have the Boston Celtics. But the thing is that the Celtics, whether they win or lose the championship this year, are going to have to enter a different way, right? Like, their ownership has already come out and said, we don't want to keep paying into the luxury tax the way that we're doing right now. They've got, 3 guys that are making more than $175 million on the team. That's collectively $175 million annually on the team. You have Al Horford. He's 38 years old. What's going to happen with that going forward? Drew Holiday, he's more than likely going to get traded away, along with Derek White and a couple of those other role players, right? Because they're coming up on huge contracts that are going to have to be extended, and the Boston Celtics just aren't going to be able to do it. You can only pay into the luxury tax so much before you decide, look, we've done what we can. The Celtics won a championship last year. If they win a championship this year, that would be awesome for them. If they don't win it, at least they were in the conversation, and I feel like that's the way that they want to go with it. At least we were in the conversation. Do you trust the New York Knicks? Like we saw the way they struggled with Detroit, and we're talking about a young Detroit team that many would say overachieved. Do you trust the Knicks? Are the Knicks going to be that team that take the next step to dominate the Eastern Conference? No. So to me, I feel like the Eastern Conference is wide open. Is it going to be Miami? Let's look at the teams that lost in the first round of the Eastern Conference. It's not going to be Miami. They're so far back, it's not even funny. The Milwaukee Bucks, yes, they lose in overtime to the Pacers. Yes, it was close, but there's already been rumblings about Giannis wanting out. That trade to get Damian Lillard hasn't worked out for the Milwaukee Bucks. The Magic, we're not going to trust the Magic right now, although I do like Paulo Banchero. The Pistons, to me, out of the teams that lost, that's the team that you can look at and say in the Eastern Conference, they can actually make some noise, right? They lose 3 home games by a total of 6 points to a team that a bunch of people at the beginning of the season would have said should have made the Eastern Conference Finals, should be making the Eastern Conference Finals, with the New York Knicks. If I'm a Pistons fan, I'm very excited about what the future can bring. And the Western Conference, if I'm a Lakers fan, I'm kind of worried. I'm kind of like, obviously they need to do something. If I'm a Grizzlies fan, Ja Morant, is he going to take that next step? Because he's been in the league for a while now, and it seems that the Grizzlies are always getting bounced in the first round. If I'm the Clippers, I got a lot of questions as well, right? The Rockets, a young team, they're probably going to be on the come up. So again, looking at those 4 teams that lost in the Western Conference, the Grizzlies, the Clippers, the Lakers, the Rockets, you could say one of them, the Rockets, has some sort of potential to do more in the future. The Clippers, to me, I think the window just shut. The window was this year. You had a fantastic second half of the season, and your star didn't show up. James Harden didn't show up. How much is Steve Ballmer going to keep wanting to pay into the luxury tax? We keep talking about that. How much is Ballmer going to want to pay? It's not going to happen. The Grizzlies, yes, they're kind of young, but how long do we keep – how long can we say that there's no pressure on Ja Morant whenever he hasn't done anything? Whenever he's being looked at as one of the best players in the NBA, but he hasn't had any success at all. The Lakers, that's an old team. We saw what their biggest problem was, is they just don't have a bench. They've got no one that they can use. Are you going to bring back, well, you got LeBron for another year. You got Luka for another year. That's fine. You could run it back with them, but you still have no depth. You can win a ton of games in the regular season. As my guy Adrian Zamudio tunes in over on Instagram saying good morning. Good morning to you, Adrian. Hope you're having yourself a fantastic weekend on the Cinco de Mayo. You can sit back and say that the Lakers can run it back and the Lakers can, be the number 3 seed, the number 2 seed, the number 1 seed, whatever it is, because those one-game samples in the regular season aren't where you get tested. It's whenever you make it into the playoffs and you get to see, even though the Lakers had a great end of the season, a great second half to the season, they still got their ass kicked in the playoffs by a team that, once again, none of us would say is going to win the championship. Very few, and it would have to be the most diehard of Minnesota Timberwolves fans that would say that the Timberwolves are their team or their chance to win a championship. In the Western Conference, I think you're taking the Thunder, the Nuggets, and the Warriors all ahead of the Timberwolves. Except the betting line right now on tomorrow's game between the Timberwolves and the Warriors has the Timberwolves as a 6.5-point favorite. I think I'm taking the Warriors in that one. I'll take the Warriors to cover that spread. Adrian Zamudio saying he's so tired. I get it, my guy. I get it. It's Monday. It's a tough day right now. At least for me, it's being a tough day. Let's look at the NBA playoff bracket right here. There you go. And let's start breaking down some of these series here in the NBA. Shout out to Dave Masakic, who tuned in. Dave McIsaac, who tuned in over on Instagram right now. Adrian Zamudio saying he just got back yesterday from Dallas. Oh, that's a long drive. That's also that's a pretty fun flight. I can't say if you flew to Dallas, I don't see any complaining here. But if you drove, that's where I can see the complaining happening here. Nuggets and Thunder. That's going to be a fun matchup. The Nuggets and the Thunder here. The Thunder, the best team in basketball. The Nuggets with the best player in basketball. Nikola Jokic, that basketball playing loaf of bread, Nikola Jokic, going to be running things in Oklahoma City against the Thunder. Now, what gave Jokic problems with the LA Clippers was the physical play that Zubac plays with, right? They have very similar body types. Zubac is a big body, a powerful dude. The Oklahoma City Thunder don't have that kind of presence on their team. You got Chet Holmgren, who's okay. You got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Augustine Pimentel saying Nikola Jokic and running. It's more lumbering. I don't think you can say like running makes it seem as though he's actually got some rhythm to his movements. It's more lumbering. Nikola Jokic. I so want to pick the Oklahoma City Thunder in this game. Right now, the betting odds have Oklahoma City as a 9.5-point favorite over the Denver Nuggets. I think that's insulting to the Denver Nuggets. I am going to choose the Denver Nuggets to win this series. It might come back and bite me in the rear end, but I'm going to choose the Denver Nuggets to win this series. Again, I'm going off a championship pedigree and experience. Championship pedigree and experience. Augustine saying that Nikola Jokic loafing down the court. What a loaf that basketball playing jar of mayonnaise is. I wonder how many more insults I can hurl his way because he's a fat guy out of shape playing basketball. His brothers, though, are absolute units. That's the crazy thing about it. They are huge, huge, muscular men. And then you got Nikola Jokic looking like a loaf of bread. Maybe he just can't do steroids. I like Oklahoma City. Like I said, you got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's more than likely the MVP of the league. You got Chet Holmgren, who's coming off of the injury that he had at the beginning of the season, trying to get better. All of those fun things that are out there. But that's the Denver Nuggets. We're talking about a team that won a championship 2 years ago. We're talking about a team with the best player in NBA, even over Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Like, all of us can say Nikola Jokic is the best player that we have seen in quite some time. If you're not ready to give him your flowers as the best player in NBA history, like I'm ready to do, because I've never seen a player do what Nikola Jokic can do, I think we need to stop hanging on to the past as much as we do. It's only whenever it's convenient to us that we hang on to the past. I got the Nuggets here. I think 9.5 points. I might just go to Bovada or even bet US right now and bet the Denver Nuggets on that one. That looks like it's going to be easy money. I don't see Oklahoma City dominating in this series the way that they did against the Memphis Grizzlies. I just don't see it happening that way. The Minnesota Timberwolves taking on the Golden State Warriors. That's going to be a fun series here. Again, I am going with experience. I like Minnesota. I think Minnesota is a fun team. Like, you got Julius Randle, you got Naz Reid, you've got Rudy Gobert. They're going to have a massive size advantage, just the same way that they did against the LA Lakers. The Timberwolves are going to have a size advantage over the Golden State Warriors. It's going to be there, flatly. But Golden State has that championship pedigree, that championship history that's going to be tough to overcome. Not to mention they have better shooters. You saw what Buddy Hield did yesterday. He goes into Game 7, 6 of 24 from 3. 6 of 24 from 3. And then ties a record with 9 3-pointers made in a Game 7. Tying Dante DiVincenzo, White Dante, with the most 3-pointers made in a Game 7. And that's not even the most dangerous shooter on the court. You knew it. As soon as you saw Steph Curry get the ball late in the game, I want to say there was about 3 minutes left. He pulls up a deep three, drains it, and you knew what time it was. You knew the game was over. The shooting that the Golden State Warriors have is so much better, exponentially better than any of the shooting that the LA Lakers had, that the Minnesota Timberwolves cannot afford to think that this is going to be the exact same series. Minnesota being a 6.5-point favorite over the Timberwolves, I'm taking, or over the Warriors rather, I'm taking the Warriors to cover that 6.5-point spread. And I think that the Warriors can take Game 1. I don't think that this is going to be as easy of a series as what it was with LA. Yes, the Warriors are going to be smaller, but they're also a much better all-around team than the LA Lakers were. Don't let the regular season records fool you. Not to mention, they have that guy right there in Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler and Ant, kind of the same guy. I give the advantage to Ant. but the Warriors have a much better shooting team. If you put roster to roster against each other, and again, I feel like they're doing the Warriors a disservice here. ESPN analytics and all that stuff saying that the Timberwolves are going to be a 54% chance of winning this series, winning this game. They're not doing a favor for these teams. Look at that Warriors lineup, that Warriors roster that they have. Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Buddy Hield, Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody still doing his thing out there. They're probably going to get Gary Payton the second back. He was hurt yesterday, just off of or wasn't hurt. He was sick yesterday, so he wasn't able to be a part of it. Want to give a shout out to Patty Villarreal, who tuned in over on Instagram as well. Quentin Post, Brandon Posnetsky, Jimmy Butler. That Golden State Warriors team is deep. And they're going to give the Minnesota Timberwolves, who I like the Timberwolves. We know that I like the Timberwolves. They're going to give that Minnesota Timberwolves roster some problems. I think that the Wolves are going to have the advantage in height. They have the size advantage, but the advantage in shooting, pure shooting, is going to be with the Golden State Warriors. This is going to be a styles clash of two teams who are just polar opposites of one another. I have the Warriors. Wow. I have the Warriors winning this series as well. So I think the Western Conference Finals is going to be the Denver Nuggets and the and the Golden State Warriors. The Western Conference Finals, the Denver Nuggets and the Golden State Warriors in the Western Conference Finals. Wow. That might come back and bite me. I got two upsets happening right there. Woof. In the Eastern Conference, I have the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think that they're going to get their win. They had to knock off the rust yesterday after getting the sweep over Miami. I think the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to get that win. They're going to win the series here. They're a 9.5-point favorite for tomorrow's game as well. I don't know if I'd go that hard. I think I'd take the Pacers to cover that 9.5 points. Then you got the Celtics and the Knicks. I think the Celtics are the better team here, and they're more than likely going to win that series as well. I'm just not buying the Knicks right now. I'm just not. Karl Anthony Towns ain't that guy. The Celtics are the defending champion. To be the man, you got to beat the man. And I just don't see the Knicks being good enough to beat the Boston Celtics. I just don't see it happening that way. So I've got Boston getting the win here in the series. Boston, 9.5-point favorite. I think I would take that 9.5 points with Boston. So if we're going to be doing bets today, I'm betting that the Nuggets cover their 9.5. And then I bet the over on 9.5 with the Boston Celtics. They dominated the New York Knicks in the regular season. So I as much as I think that this is going to be a fun series to watch, I also don't think it's going to be fun at all. I feel like the Knicks don't belong. And I know that that's going to make some people upset, but I just feel like the Knicks don't belong at all. So there we go. And the Western Conference, I have the Nuggets and the Warriors going to the Western Conference Finals. In the East, I have the Cavaliers and the Celtics making it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Those are my picks. We are locking them in. I have the internet here to make fun of me if I am wrong, but I went 5-3 in the first round. So maybe, just maybe, we can go 3-1 here, and I'll be happy. Is 3-1, Augustine, is 3-1 good enough, or does it have to be 4-0? Is that what you're telling me? It has to be 4-0. It can't just be 3-1. Because if it's 3-1, then it means that we just got over the hump, right? But I think we can go 3-1. And you know what else I think we can do? I think we can get ready for just a tip.
I just want to put the tip in.
It's time for
Just a tip.
That would make me uncomfortable. Promise that it ain't too much, but just enough. Just a tip. Just a tip.
Just the tip? Just the tip.
It's time for Just the Tip.
Just the Tip is brought to you by www.myhappynuts.com. That's www.myhappynuts.com. Use promo code Mike Tipton. Save on all of your male grooming needs. Guys, the summer's coming up. You don't want all that swamp ass. You don't want to feel uncomfortable in that area. And you want to make sure that you are trimmed to the best of your abilities. Go to www.myhappynuts.com. Avoid the nicks and the cuts down there. We all know it's not comfortable doing it. Avoid the nicks and the cuts. Make sure you're taken care of in just the time for summer. You don't want to deal with all those things. www.myhappynuts.com. Use promo code Mike Tipton at checkout and save on all of your male grooming needs. Tommy Canazzo said just made it home on time. Had to be walking. He had to be running to the door, just like Boys in the Hood. Ricky, running to the door, trying to get there before he got with the blicky, known as Just the Tip. Tommy Canazzo arguing with me here, saying it's going to be Oklahoma City Thunder and the Minnesota Timberwolves in the Western Conference Finals. Saying I never paid attention to the graphics because I'm always driving, but they're pretty good, Tip. They're pretty good. And I just threw that all together. Like, I want to do more. There's some more things that I'm going to be doing, but I wanted to do more. We'll deal with that a little bit later. I got some things that I'm working on this week as far as things go. The Crooked Commish saying, damn, I missed Just the Tip. All the time, 8:30. You got to be here right before 8:30. Sometimes we'll play it a little bit later. Sometimes we'll play it a little bit earlier. I try to get it at 8:30, as close to 8:30 as we possibly can. Sorry, Commish. But I'll play it one more time.
I just want to put the tip in.
It's time for
Just a tip.
That would make me uncomfortable. Promise that it ain't too much, but just enough. Just a tip. Just a tip.
Just the tip? Just the tip.
It's time for Just the Tip.
We played it one more time for the Crooked Commish. Augustine asking, is Tommy listening on a boombox? How does he not see the graphics? No, he's normally driving. He's a responsible individual, puts the phone over to the side, pays attention to the road. Tommy, I appreciate that. Keep doing you, my guy. Tommy saying, you missed it, CC. The Crooked Commish saying, LMAO, you the man, Mike. Thanks. Getting a little bit of love here, a little bit of laughs from the crew here. Listening, taking in the show, having ourselves a good old time on the tipping point with Mike Tipton. Now, I wanted to talk about this. You all know I love me, the NFL draft, and I have myself a moral conundrum right now. Should I put in to go to the NFL draft one more time and go to Washington, D.C., where the NFL draft is going to be held next year? Because if I go to Washington, D.C., where the NFL draft is going to be next year, I feel like I have to just be the annoying Dallas Cowboys fan because it's Washington, D.C., and they deserve to be annoyed as much as physically possible. So now I'm trying to sit here and think to myself, as ESPN sources are saying, that the Washington Commanders are going to host. Augustine asking, does Happy Nuts get charged twice? No, they just get charged once. One time. No matter the mentions, one time. As long as I do it once a show, 5 days a week. Like even whenever I did the one on Saturday, Happy Nuts doesn't have to pay for that. That was just an extra throw-in that I'm doing for them. Tommy Canazzo saying, I do have two 12-inch subs in my trunk. Man, I miss those. I had a 1998 Mustang. I took the back seat out and I put two 12-inch subs along with a 15-inch sub. Just basically had nothing but speakers in the back seat. This is a early 2000s, so I had, purple neon lights and a bunch of stuff like this on this candy orange Mustang of mine with my 20-inch rims. Man. Tommy Cananza says keep or do it till they say yes. Well, I've gone. They said yes 3 times. This year they said no, and it's more than likely because Green Bay just doesn't have the infrastructure. They just doesn't have the infrastructure. Tommy's saying that he'll come with me to the NFL draft. I'm down. I need a crew that I can rely on for the NFL draft. Augustine's saying their nuts must be happy. Whose nuts are happy? My nuts are always happy. Sorry, y'all, I'm getting some messages here. We have a fantasy football draft. These are my friends from ESPN where we do our fantasy football draft. We'll see how it goes. That's one of the few times that I'll look and be like, okay, why are we talking fantasy sports right here? Augustine's saying when people have more sound than car, that is funny. I don't know what's funny about it. I mean, it was a Mustang. It was a quick Mustang. It was a fast car. I love me fast cars. Tommy's saying, I don't know how to do any of the radio stuff, but I'll be moral support. Right? That's all you got to do, Tommy. Just show up and have moral support. You can do this, Tip. Hey, that cord right there, you need me to pull that cord? I can do that. If y'all ever saw how much it takes for me to get the setup, anytime you want to go see what it's like for me to do a setup, join me whenever I do these lives so you can see what it all entails, right? Every Saturday, Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm inviting y'all out there. Let's do it. Midea Reyes saying, I want to go to the draft so there is some balance. Yes. We get the yin and the yang. Midea, who is always right, according to herself, versus me, who is always wrong, according to herself. The yin and the yang. The yin and the yang. Tommy Canassa saying, I have a super sport, so I'm telling you, Augustine, what are you talking about? More sound than car. It's not like we're driving, busted up Honda Civics or anything like that. I'm trying to remember. Augustine, do you still have that Tesla? Augustine saying, I know how to talk out of my rear end. I think that's what all of us do for the most part. None of us know when it comes to the draft. I said it a million times. You're playing the game of what if. I hate the game of what if. I like the game of hope. Tommy Canazza saying, I can pull cords and put them around Commanders fans. I'll be security. There we go. I always need like my own personal security detail because I'm telling you, if I go to the NFL draft in Washington, D.C., I'm not going to go as buttoned up Mike Tipton. I'm going as the annoying-ass Dallas Cowboys fan that I can be, that I think I'm entitled to be. It's very rare that I get to be the annoying Dallas Cowboys fan. I think I'm going to bring back 3 and out for the regular season and do the Cowboys post-game stuff. So we'll do 3 and out this year. I'm saying it right now. We'll do 3 and out as our post-game analysis for the Dallas Cowboys. And I get to be annoying-ass Dallas Cowboys fan Mike Tipton. I am fine with that. I told you all the story already. Whenever I applied for that job in Washington, D.C., and they asked me if I was a Cowboys fan, I said yes. And they were like, I don't think it's going to work, guy. Look, my friend, I don't think it's going to work. Some very smart people are saying that a Cowboys fan can't live in Washington, D.C. I don't know why they can't. They just say they can't. 47, the gift that keeps on giving. Like chlamydia, though. Can I say that? Sorry, Roku. I apologize. It's been a while since I had to say sorry to Roku. Tommy Canazzo saying, Mireya, you cannot go. You shall not pass. I think we're going to have to go just all in, right? This is exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to start covering more stuff with the Dallas Cowboys, and I'll say that we cover an NFL team on a regular basis. I kind of already do. I think I talk more about the Cowboys than I talk about anything else in my life. The DC stands for Dallas Cowboys. I like that. That's going to have to be a shirt. The owners of the Washington football team, the Dallas Cowboys. There you go. Tommy Canazzo saying, we own that. Biatch. I'm wondering if I could even say that on Roku. I think I can, right? If Snoop could say it, I could say it. Augustine saying, did you see the post that the official White House account had for May the 4th? I did not. Oh, no. Oh, God. It's what's the first thing you put up? Okay, let's see. We're going to X. We're going to the White House. Oh, dear God. Oh, man. Oh, Jesus effing Christ. I have to share this with you all just in case you haven't seen it. I want to read that in Trump voice now. Happy May 4th to all, including the radical left lunatics who are fighting so hard to bring Sith Lord murderers, drug lords, dangerous prisoners, and well-known MS-13 gang members back into our galaxy. You're not the rebellion. You're the empire. May the 4th be with you. And also with you. Jesus Christ, this was a real post. 6'3", 225. 6'3", 225. That's exactly what that looks like. Oh, God. I just have no words. Oh. Come on. I know we're not supposed to get into politics or any of that stuff, but come on, that's hilarious. Augustine, he sent it to me as well. Over here, just come on. I will say this, they're getting really good at Photoshop. Really good at Photoshop. Tommy Canazzo saying, that's our president, y'all. It's just wow. That's all I could say. It's just wow. It's kind of like the mouthpiece. I can't think of her name right now. Caroline Lovett. It's kind of like her being like, oh well, the president put out a tweet and Shedeur Sanders got drafted. It was gonna happen anyway. He put out that tweet 2 days before. Like what are we talking about here? Somebody better draft Shedeur. Fun times. Fun times. Tommy Canazzo saying they should have at least used his flabby ass body. We're not going to get into that today. That'll be a different time for a different time. As much as I want to make fun of 47 because I love doing it, we just can't. Have y'all been seeing what's going on with Abdul Carter? Abdul Carter, the number 3 overall pick from the for the New York Giants. Great defensive end, great pass rusher. He was reaching out. The Giants have some numbers that they retired. He reached out to Lawrence. I was going to say Lawrence Sims. Lawrence Sims was actually one of my master sergeants in the United States Air Force. Man, Chief Sims, shout out to you. Been a while since I spoke about him, but he reached out to Lawrence Taylor, number 56. Was like, hey, can I wear number 56? Lawrence Taylor was like, oh, it's retired, my guy. I don't think I'm going to be able to let you wear that number. And Abdul Carter said, oh, that's fine. That's cool. No worries. I'll reach out and I'll try to wear the number I wore in college. So let me reach out to Phil Sims, who has a retired number. And Phil Sims was like, oh, my number's retired too, guy. I don't know about that. So now Abdul Carter is 0 for 2. 0 for 2 on trying to get jersey numbers in the NFL. At this point, I'm just saying, get whatever freaking number you want that the team gives you, man. Because it's going to be embarrassing if you go one more time and you can't get that number. It's just, I mean, come on. He wanted number 56, can't wear 56. Wants number 11, can't wear number 11. Maybe you put it together, you wear number 16 or number 61, something like that. Just, you can't, it's not going to happen. Abdul Carter needs to stop talking and asking about getting these numbers. He should have just got the number and been like, what are you going to do about it? Old man, you want to fight for the number? Like, come on. But not being able to get it. No, he can't wear number 11 either. Phil Sims said no. And also, can these guys from the Giants get off their high horse? UMFers haven't played in 30 years. Is that what you need to feel better about yourself? Is, oh, my jersey number's retired. Now that I know my jersey number's retired, no one else is ever going to wear that jersey number now. That's why I'm kind of glad. That's why I'm kind of glad that the Cowboys don't retire numbers. They should give him both. He should be number 5,611. That would be a great number. Could you imagine that as your jersey number? 5,611. Tackle made by number 5,611. That would be cool. But they should, like, there shouldn't be this much of an issue. Because I don't think it makes Abdul Carter look bad. I think it makes those old heads look bad. But that's what old guys do, right? Like, old guys are going to do what old guys do, and they're just being crotchety old men. No, you can't wear that number that I wore 30 years ago. Why the hell not? The number has nothing to do with you, right? Like, come on, man. Like, people know who Lawrence Taylor is. If there's a number 56 running out there for the Giants, it's not like people are going to be like, is that Lawrence Taylor? Was that LT out there now? Wow, I thought he retired 30 years ago. Is that Phil Sims wearing number 11 on the defensive side? When did he start playing defense? Tommy Canazzo saying he should have come to Dallas. Jerry would have given him whatever Legends number he wanted. That's what I'm talking about. That's what makes me so a part of me gets upset that the Dallas Cowboys don't retire numbers. But then I'm also like, you know what? That's fine that they don't retire those numbers. Like, what it does is it leaves a legacy behind, right? Like, you have 88, Drew Pearson, Michael Irvin, Des Bryant, CeeDee Lamb, Anthony Fasano, all those legendary names that wore number 88 for the Dallas Cowboys. I put Fasano in there facetiously. He did wear number 88, but he's not a legend. Because it's like you have to live up to that number. That's why there hasn't been, at least I don't think there hasn't been, a number 22 for Dallas in a while. I'm going to have to look up the Dallas Cowboys roster here and make sure that they don't have a number 22. Because if they have a number 22 and he's on the bench, that's not a good look. Tommy Canazzo says, oh, you're a great pass rusher. Here you go, number 94. And that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. You keep it going. I'm looking, a real quick perusal is showing me that there's not a number 22 in Dallas right now. I don't think there's been a number 8 either. In a while, at least. I might be wrong. I am not seeing a number 22. Once again, this is a real quick attempted search. Tommy Canasta said that Anthony Fasano wore number 80, I think. Let me look that one up real quick, too. Wow, I'm seeing at one point he wore number 47. Let's see. I'm coming over here. I guess it was 80. I thought it was 88 for some reason. Well, there you go. Tommy Canazzo was right. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry, Tommy. Will you ever forgive me? Exactly. No one has worn 22 or 8 since Emmett and Troy. And I get that, right? Like, I totally understand that. And I think it's because you have to, like there's that legend with the Cowboys of, we give you this number so you can live up to who this number is. It's going to be so hard to live up to number 8. It's going to be so hard to live up to number 22. Those numbers are quote unquote unofficially retired. We shall see. I feel like if the Dallas Cowboys had drafted Ashton Genty, he might have been a number 22. If they draft Arch Manning, he can be a number 8. I can see the Cowboys unretiring those numbers for those types of players. Antonio Bryant wore 88. There we go. That's who I must have got him confused with. They look the same. Antonio Bryant and Anthony Fasano. They're the same guy. They're twins. They're almost twins. They look exactly the same way. That's why I got them confused. Look, they both look alike to me. I still can't get over that post. What a dumb post. But it is the way it is. If I'm Abdul Carter, I give up my search and I just take whatever number the NFL wants to give me. I'm no longer leaving it into the hands of anyone else. I am just right there. Right there, just being right there. I'm not asking for anyone else. I'm not gonna get embarrassed anymore trying to ask people for a number that they're not going to give me. Oh wow. Tommy Cananta saying Ashton Genty would have definitely had number 22. Would have definitely had number 22. I can see it. I can see it going through that way. News coming out of the NBA, the Utah Jazz and their head coach, Will Hardy, have agreed to a multi-year extension through 2031 under the new owner Ryan Smith that was announced this morning. Will is a great leader, communicator, ambassador for our organization. He is a tremendous partner to CEO Danny Ainge and GM Justin Zanuck. Our goal is to hang a banner, and Will be a part of this journey. Wow. Augustine Pimentel saying, so when you retire a number, I think it's more important to have the name up there than the number. I agree with that 100%. Right? Like, because that's a problem the Yankees are going to wind up having soon. And I know that they unretired the number 2 and the number 1 before. So it's not like numbers haven't been unretired previously. You can still have the number up there with the jersey. It's not the number that makes the difference. It's the player that wore the number. As long as it has the last name Lawrence Taylor or Phil Simms, that's what matters. I was going to say they hang them up in the rafters, but since they share that arena, do they even hang up the retired jersey in that rafter? Tommy Cadanza saying 5 times 6 is 30. Wear that one, Carter. Why not, 11 times 11? 1 times 1, he could be number 2. God, could you imagine a defensive end with number 2? It looks weird to me. But again, I'm an old guy. I'm a very old guy. I still have to get used to seeing the smaller jersey numbers on like the defensive players and all that stuff. Tommy Canazzo saying the Cowboys signed one of your Red Raiders, Josh Kelly, giving us a scout. Give us a scouting report, Mike. Not enough time to give you a scouting report on Josh Kelly right now. I will do that in a little bit, but I want to thank you all so much for tuning into today's show. Before I go, I wanted to give a quick thank you and let everyone know, if you haven't been paying attention to what's been going on with National Streaming Sports, about something that happened. It was a joke, Augustine. Over the weekend on Saturday morning, I got a text message that the man who invited me to be a part of National Streaming Sports, Mac McGrath, passed away. Now, Mac had been sick for quite some time. And as stunning as that news was, it was, again, much better for him to no longer be in pain, no longer be dealing with the stuff that he was dealing with. And it's heartbreaking. But I know that his family, Linda and all them, are going to be okay at the end. I just wanted to give a quick thank you to Mac McGrath because I wasn't doing the stream anymore. I just didn't find a platform for this show. I had lost the motivation to do this show. So whenever Linda and Mac approached me about, hey, let's bring the Tipping Point back, we'll give you a platform over here on Roku, I said to myself, let's give it a shot. And for them to put this weird-ass show, this weird-ass guy on their platform, I am eternally grateful for. Mac, you are a great man. You will greatly be missed. And thank you so much for the opportunity, because without you, I'm not able to do this thing that I love at the platform that I'm able to do it at. So thank you for believing in a weird-ass little dude like me to do all this sports radio stuff. And may your family find some peace and solace in this terrible time for them. Wow. All right, everybody. Once again, thank you all so much for tuning into today's show. We will see you all tomorrow. I will have that scouting report for you tomorrow, Tommy, because I think it's going to be great for the Dallas Cowboys, and I love their history of undrafted free agents. So thank you all so much. We will see you all tomorrow. You all know there are hundreds of betting sites out there, but don't be fooled. Some sites are legal in some states only. Some sites pay in Bitcoin, and some sites have even been hacked. However, BetUS has been in business for over 30 years. They have future bets that are paying out in the thousands, and there's still time for you to bet on the Super Bowl, the National Championship, and even the NBA Championship. Just use the QR code right here, and it will take you to the BetUS site. BetUS. Check it out and bet responsibly. Are you a fellow car guy? I have a 2008 Ford Mustang GT convertible, and nothing makes me happier in that car than when it's nice and clean. And you know who helps me get there? RevAutoCarCare.com. They help me get that pony looking as nice and shiny and ready for any of the car meetups that are all around the great city of El Paso. Spoil your car and go to RevAutoCarCare.com/Tipton and view all the inventory they have and find out what works for you to help make your ride shine. RevAutoCarCare.com/Tipton. Use promo code Tipton33 at checkout to save 15%.